Day
Let
one
me,
of the Success Codes for Coaches Summit. I'm your host, Mary Elaine Petrucci, founder of the Phoenix Rising Life Institute. And let me just say, I'm so excited you're here. And before we start, please check the chat for the outline of what to expect during today. Let me tell you why this summit exists and what you can expect over the next 2 days. The Success Codes for Coaches Summit with one clear mission: to support you in elevating your influence, attracting more clients, creating lasting transformations, increasing your income, and feeling fulfilled while you're doing it. Because let's be honest, it's not just about getting more clients, right? It's about getting aligned clients. It's about creating consistent revenue in a way that feels good. It's about using your voice, your tools, your hard-won wisdom to create real transformation and actually getting paid well for it. I want to start by acknowledging something simple but profound. You said yes to yourself. You said yes to your growth. You said yes to your calling and to the vision that's been tugging at your heart to serve at a higher level. So thank you for being here. I see you, and I know the effort it takes to carve out this time, and I promise it's going to be more than worth it. It tells me you're ready for more. You're ready for more impact, more clarity, more alignment, and yes, more income. But income that flows from who you are, not just what you do. So just take a moment and breathe and celebrate yourself for showing up. So go ahead and pat yourself on the back. So by a quick show of hands, or if you're watching the replay, just a gentle check-in with yourself. How many of you are here because you're ready to get more clients, but in a way that feels more aligned and less exhausting? And how many of you are here because you're overwhelmed by the endless to-do list? Lead gen, content, tech, client work, and you're hoping to find some sanity-saving shortcuts. And how many of you are here because something inside is whispering or maybe shouting, it's time to stop playing small? Beautiful. You're in the exact right place. Over the next 2 days, I'm bringing you 6 incredible speakers, each hand-selected for their wisdom, integrity, and results-driven approach. These men and women are not only experts in their field, they are walking their talk, building conscious, successful businesses that make a difference. They'll be sharing practical tools, strategies, and insights that will help you grow your business, attract and generate more leads, sign on quality clients, and increase your revenue. We're doing this so you can have a bigger impact, so you can continue living your mission, so you can experience the joy of making a real difference without burning out. That's why my bigger and deeper mission for this event is to help you shift not just your actions, but your identity. Most of you already know this. Mindset is responsible for 80 to 90% of the success that you experience as a coach and that your clients experience when they work with you. So, yes, you're
Nice.
here to get some new tools, new strategies, and new techniques. But I suspect something else too. And maybe, just maybe, something's been in your way, stopping you from moving forward, stopping you from taking the consistent action that would allow you to implement and really get the results you're capable of. That's why over the next 2 days, I'm not just bringing you expert content. I'll be weaving in mindset clearing techniques, tools that will help you better absorb, assimilate, and integrate the knowledge you're receiving. Why? So you can get to faster implementation and create greater results, not months from now, but starting today. You see, success isn't just about implementing a strategy. It's about being consistent enough to implement the strategy fully, long enough, deeply enough to get the results that strategy is designed to deliver. And this is the key I want you to carry with you throughout this summit. It's not just the what, it's the who you are as you apply the what. You need to be the person who can carry that strategy through. And your clients, they need you to be the person who can guide them, hold them accountable, and help them shift their mindset so they carry their strategies through too. Let me leave you with a powerful truth that I've seen again and again. Success isn't just about what you do, it's about who you are becoming as you do it. Whether you're ready to consistently attract aligned clients, deepen your impact, or finally stop spinning your wheels and start getting visible, this summit will give you the tools, the confidence, and clarity to make it happen. This is not just another summit. It's a portal to your next level of success, a space for deep activation and aligned action. And that activation begins today. So let's just take a moment to ground yourself and fully arrive. If you're comfortable, just go ahead and close your eyes. Place your feet on the floor and let your hands rest gently in your lap or by your sides. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 6. And exhale out through your mouth on a count of 8. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let yourself be fully present. Now, I invite you to imagine the version of yourself who already has the success you desire. The you who is confident and clear. The you who speaks with purpose and power. The you who shows up fully, grounded, visible, and aligned. The you who's magnetic to the right clients, opportunities, and income. See this version of you in your mind's eye. What are you feeling about that person that shows up purposefully and intentionally with everyone you meet during the day? What do you hear from family, colleagues, and clients about how you lead your life with meaning and impact? What do you see as you dream, as your dream life, knowing that you are fulfilling your vision and transforming others' lives? Notice how they speak, calm, assured, impactful. And notice how they make decisions, focused, empowered, and unapologetic. Now, step into that version of you. Feel the confidence in your posture. Feel the clarity in your mind. Feel the commitment in your heart, the ease in your breath. This version of you already exists, and they are ready to lead. Let them take the wheel as you move through this summit. Breathe in and let it settle. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. So, my invitation to you is to take notes, ask bold questions, connect with the speakers, and claim your breakthroughs. This summit is a sacred space, and what you put into it is what you'll get out of it. So don't just watch passively, participate energetically. You are here for a reason, and this is your time to get everything you came for. Before we dive in, our first session, I'd just love to introduce you to two people who will support you throughout this event. One is Stephanie, and the other is Neil, who work behind the scenes and are magic makers who make sure you have what you need. They'll be posting the daily routine in the chat, dropping links for the speakers' free gifts, and sharing VIP access information so you can grab all the extra resources available to you. If you need any tech help, have questions, or need reminders, feel free to reach out to Stephanie or Neil in the chat. They're here to help. So attendees who have registered for the VIP gifts will receive an email with the link to the VIP page where you'll have access to the speaker's gifts and links to the lifetime event access to the Success Code Summit. So look out for that email. Access to day one of the summit will be posted for 24 hours only on Saturday, and day two of the summit will be posted for 24 hours on Sunday. Are there any other questions you may have regarding the summit before we start?
I have a question. Do you want me to raise my hand?
Sure, go right ahead.
Um, uh, is any of this in writing in the email, or do we have to remember what you told us verbally?
No, Linda, it will be in the email that we will be sending you.
Okay, all right. It's just I have a conference I'm attending all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday that I paid $800 a year ago in order to attend.
Mm.
So, and I actually also have a photographic memory so that if it's in writing and I can take it from the email over into my calendars, I can do a much better job of juggling my attendance than I can do if I get it last minute. If I get it last minute, it's like, oh, that was nice. I guess maybe I'll watch the replay. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
And Linda, check the chat as
I
well.
will. Thank you.
Thank you for your
I got
question. Thank you. So just final words. Just feel your purpose and note that this is a portal to your next level of success. A reset, a realignment, and an activation. You're here to lead, to rise, and you're here to own your next level of success fully, unapologetically, and powerfully. So let's get started. Welcome to the Success Codes for Coaches Summit. So let's dive in. Now, I'm so excited to introduce you to our very first speaker, someone who truly embodies connection, collaboration, and community. Phyllis Marlene Benstein is a powerhouse when it comes to networking with intention and integrity. She's not just about collecting business cards. She's about cultivating relationships that matter. She believes and lives by the idea that your next opportunity is always one meaningful connection away. Phyllis Marlene will be discussing keys to profitable and productive networking. Phyllis Marlene is an international transformational speaker, best-selling author, entrepreneur, and visionary with a passion for empowering individuals to create lives of purpose, balance, and success. With a background in engineering and leadership, she combines technical expertise with creativity to deliver actionable strategies that inspire growth and transformation. Phyllis Marlene specializes in networking mastery, image transformation, and guiding professionals in their transition from employee to entrepreneur. So get ready to learn how to expand your reach, open new doors, and start creating relationships that generate not just leads, but real momentum in your business. Let's give a warm welcome to Phyllis Marlene. Welcome, Phyllis Marlene, to the Success Code Summit.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Mary Elaine, for the opportunity. And Carol and Stephanie, it's been many moons since I've seen you. So, oh my goodness, 5, 6, 7 years. So I'm so glad you are here today, and all the other ones. Welcome, welcome. So I'm excited to share with you how to network. So I'll check the chat later, but put in the comments if you love to network. And secondly, are you productive and profitable in your networking? A lot of people are overwhelmed by networking because they're not making the correct connections with people. So I'm going to share 5 success codes and some actionable steps for you to make profit and be productive. So number 1, success code number 1, clarity. Know your networking goals. This is key for anyone that wants to use networking as a business growth tool. So why are you networking? Do you want to get hired? Are you looking for clients? Are you looking for exposure? Are you looking to learn something from the speaker? Because if you don't have a purpose, you're going to get overwhelmed and say that you're not successful in networking, right? So 3 clear networking goals that every businesswoman should have. So take some notes because I didn't put them on the slides. But number 1 is grow your influence. I love to speak on these types of summits because I love to share my many, many years of expertise so other people can be more successful. That's a paycheck of the heart for me. So grow your influence is number 1. Number 2, build your lead pipeline. Leads are the lifeline of your business. Are you networking to meet people? And number three, expand your visibility. I know that when you network, you have opportunities to speak. Sometimes you have opportunities to sponsor, and sometimes you just go to make those key connections. So your first thing to do is write down your number one networking goal for the next 30 days. Why are you turning on your computer to Zoom, or why are you heading out the door to network? All right. Success code number two, lead with value, not a pitch. People don't want to be sold to. And if people know, like, and trust you, you've heard that one before, they will want to do business with you. But if they like you, they've seen your results, they've experienced your results, you will get endless referrals. And so it's about how can you connect with people? Because if you build those authentic relationships, if you transform someone's business, if you transform their life through your products and services, it will turn into business and it will turn into endless referrals as well. So always listen more than you talk. And I always love to really get to know the person, because then I'll better know how I can serve them, how I can solve maybe their problems with my products and services, or who would be an ideal connection. I call myself a master connector because I connect people to each other, people to great resources, and people to great opportunities. But I'm not going into a networking event online or in person to to collect everybody's information. I want to get to know you. And so I've got a 3-question rule to deepen any conversation. And you can take a screenshot of this, but this is one of the things I do when I go out and network. What are you working on right now? I want to know what drives them. What are they working on? And I can hear their energy if they're excited about what they're working on, or they're frustrated because they're stuck. And so, and the next question is, what led you to start your business or career? That's a key one, because if you have a mission and a vision and you can share that with other people, you will build your list, you will build your tribe of like-minded people. Because when you walk into a networking event, you do not want to connect with everyone. Just like you don't want to connect and collect everybody's business cards. You want to connect with the people that resonate with your mission, vision, and values. And the third question is, how can I support you or connect you with somebody? Once I meet someone at a networking event and I listened carefully and I fully understand what they do, I am able to go introduce them to other people in the room. And that's where the connection and the power of collaboration comes in. So next one, code number 3, consistency, touch point strategy. Why most people give up too soon. You know, they say it takes 4 to 7 touches, but you need to know how many touches it takes you. What is your conversion rate? How many people do you talk to before you get a sale? Before you um, get them to engage with you? So most people give up too soon because they do a follow-up or two, and then they leave it there. So one of the important things is your follow-up formula. When I meet people, oh my goodness, when I started networking, it was like, can I have your email? But now with the world at your fingertips, we've got Instagram Messenger, which I never look at, so don't Instagram Messenger me. But we've got Facebook Messenger, we've got LinkedIn messages, we've got email, we've got text messaging, we've got WhatsApp. So what I do when I meet someone in a networking event and I say, what would be the best way to follow up with you? And I also ask them, what is the best time of day? because timing is everything. So how can I reach out to you? How would you like me to reach out to you? And what time of day is best for you? And put in the chat if you have an international business, because then you've got to work against time zones. I have people in many different time zones. And so that's key to ask them, because my morning might be their evening. You do not want to message someone in the middle of the night. So your visibility calendar. So have a calendar of where you want to network. So I have my own brand of networking events, but I also like to go to other networking events, both online and in person. So I have a calendar and I fill in those days that I'm free and I go and network either online or in person. So the more that people see you at an event, the more you're top of mind and the more opportunities they have to get to know you. So collaboration, this is my absolute favorite one, is collaboration. And networking is kind of a taboo word. Some people don't really like the word networking, but connecting and collaborating, that's awesome. Collaboration is less rough than networking is. So what type of collaboration partners can you have? Because there's referral partners. Those are people that once they know what you do, if your messaging is clear and they know what you do, who you are, what you do, what problems you solve, and who is a great referral or connection for you, then it makes them easier to connect you to people, refer you to people. So do you have an affiliate or referral program? And visibility exchange. I love to talk to other people's audiences, OPA, other people's audiences. So how can I get in front of your audience and how can I welcome you into my world to get in front of my audience? So there's also power partners. Power partners maybe service the same target market as you, but there are endless referrals if they're a power partner. So put in the chat if you have power partners. Because the next thing on here is, well, I'll tell you a quick collaboration story. I have several businesses. One of them is a hair care business, and I helped someone with incredible results to thicken up their hair. It was a gentleman, and his results were so stellar that over the next 5 years after that, him just talking to people sold thousands and thousands of dollars of product for me because he was a happy customer and people saw the before and after. But find a person that loves what you do, has experienced your results, shares the same mission and vision, and you can collaborate with them. So create your own power circle. So on your own, write down 3 to 5 peers that you could network with. So for me, I work with entrepreneurs, small business owners, speakers, authors. Those are my jam for my networking business. And so who is your power circle? Who do you know that you can work with, that you have the same mission and vision, perhaps? You service the same target market, and you can connect, you can collaborate, endless referrals. Or you can collaborate and do events together, like I'm doing with Mary Elaine. Because I love coaches and, find someone that you can collaborate with. That's really important also. So number 5, the important part, profits, conversion. Turn your conversions into cash flow. And so you have to ask people into your offer. A confused mind doesn't buy. So is your offer clear? So I go to a lot of conferences. I have my irresistible offer on my cell phone in a QR code. So people have to know, number one, how to connect with you and how to purchase from you. So do you have it handy when you walk into an event? Are you ready? You still could use paper. You could have a brochure. You could have a flyer. But it all starts with asking. And most importantly, being clear on what you offer. So that's where the conversion happens. And also through the other steps, through referrals and collaborations, affiliate programs. And so my closing call to action is, I want to challenge you. Who are 3 people you will follow up with today and add value to? Who do you know that has a problem that keeps them up at night that you know that you can solve? I would love to know about that. And think about all the other steps here. But reach out to 3 people today. It doesn't have to be cold calling. It could be people that you've met in the past. And I do a lot with referrals. I love to get referrals. And also after, like the gentleman that had the hair success, once someone has had an incredible experience with me, I ask them to do a 5-star review, either on my business page, on my Google business, but capture those after you've met with someone or after they've completed your program. Get a written testimonial, have them go to your business page, or have them use their iPhone or their Zoom and create a video testimonial for you. It goes a really, really long way. And so I have a thank you gift for people. And Mary Elaine, I don't know if we have time for questions, but
We
that
do.
we do? Okay. So this is my free gift for everyone. You can schedule your 30-minute strategy session. I would love to know where you're networking, how you're networking, and how I can best help you maybe fill in the gaps, tweak your wording a little bit, and turn those conversations into cash. So did everyone get that? Oh, and the website on the bottom has an O on the end, connectandcollaborate.co. Somehow it got cut off. You can also connect with me through that. Just add an O, not com, but CO. So let me stop screen sharing.
Excellent presentation, Phyllis
I
Marlene.
would
So who has questions for Phyllis Marlene? Go ahead, Linda.
I actually don't have any questions. I want to thank you for, yeah, an excellent presentation. Um, I've been in business for 25 years doing accounting, and I'm just moving over to start a new business now because the company that makes the software I use, they're discontinuing it. And I don't want to learn a new software. So, but I'm looking forward to following up in the ways you suggested. They sound excellent.
absolutely. And for you, it would be identifying who needs your new software, right?
No, actually, I'm not using software. I'm actually using my mind. Uh,
Oh, okay.
my new business is called Linda Lee Listening, and I listen to people for 55 minutes at a time on Zoom. And I like really, really listen to them. I know that
Cool.
sounds strange, but so many people think nobody listens to them.
Right. Love
And
it.
you get a lot out of that. So I'm playing with it right now to see how it works. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Some other questions.
And Phyllis Marlene, also in the chat is from Laura about
Oh,
Laura, you want to talk to Phyllis Marlene about reviews and then getting on her calendar.
oh yeah. Let me put that calendar link in the chat.
That would be great.
I just wanted to thank you so much, Phyllis. I always forget to ask for the review. And so it's always good to have that reminder to say, hey, to my clients and things like that, just that quick reminder, hey, Can you provide a review? And it's one of those things that I forget to do a lot of the time. So I sincerely appreciate that. And yeah, and then I loved your nuggets that you provided. And I'm trying to pull one up because there was one that, well, the call to action, being clear about that call to action, I think is really, really critical. But the follow up in particular, and this is a question I have, I don't want to inundate people with, hey, and follow up, follow up, follow up. So is there a method or a span of time that you use for the follow up after the initial follow up? How much time do you allow to elapse before reaching back out?
So I usually follow up in 2 to 3 days. And then if I haven't heard back from them the following week, I'll follow up with them again. But I should have mentioned when I asked what's the best way to follow up with you and what time, I asked them, how often would you like to be contacted?
I see. Uh-huh.
Like, would you like to be contacted for the events that I have? Would you like to be contacted if I have a speaker or a sponsor opportunity or when a new product rolls out? So I think that's kind of key also. And I follow up until I get a no, but that's what the P in Phyllis is for. It's for persistence.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much. That's perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely. Any others? And it's so good to see everyone.
It is. And Wellesley joined us a little just recently. So welcome, Wesley. So my question to you, Phyllis Marlene, is when you're in a networking event and you're talking to someone and asking those three questions that you offered, when do you know when to pivot, I guess, into talking about your products and services?
So I'm pretty good at reading people's energy. A lot of the people will not be a good fit, but it's the people that really engage after they talk about their business. I
Mhm.
either talk about how there's synergy with what we're both doing, or they ask, what do you do and how could we, is there a match here? But um, usually I see there's a potential with the person I'm talking about, but it's not with everybody. Sometimes that I know right away when I'm talking to someone if they're interested or not, if they're passionate about what they're doing, or even if I could help them.
Mm. Okay, thank you for answering those questions.
Absolutely.
Anyone else have questions to ask Phyllis Marlene?
And thank you again. And everyone schedule your 30-minute call. I would love to talk to you.
And just being clear about your value and what you have to offer. So that really is the key when you're in a networking event.
Absolutely. You know what? Own it. I can tell when people are genuine, passionate, and they have a genuine business. They show up very clear about who they are, what they do, what they provide, and especially what they're looking for. So it's all about clarity.
Definitely. I have another
Yeah.
quick question for you. So has anything changed in networking with like the changes in the economy or just in what's happening in our world right now?
Well, two things. Now we have, as I was saying earlier, we have the world at our fingertips. When I started networking, it was where could I go to network? But really, we have the world at our fingertips. There are go-to meeting events. There are Zoom events. There are virtual summits like this. And so I think it opens up a world of possibilities because I have a global business. I can do business anywhere. And
Mhm.
that's what's really changed over the years is we didn't have, I think it all happened during the pandemic, right? We took a huge shift from going out in person to sitting on our computers. And now it's become kind of mainstay. But the other thing is people are the real currency. And so I think a
Yes.
lot more people are building the authentic relationships, not, being the quote unquote used car salesman, just going to collect cards and seeing who they can sell. People don't want to be sold to. They want to know that you genuinely care about them. And so I think that's a big shift. And so I won't do the other type of networking anymore. Not my cup of tea.
Thank you so much for sharing those 5 success codes for networking. It gives us a better perspective on how to really invest our time in a networking event. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much, Phyllis Marlene. I appreciate all the nuggets that you provided us.
Thank you.
So our next speaker is Stephen Mesh, who will be giving you secrets to creating scroll stopping posts so that you can reach clients more effectively and authentically. Stephen is a social media marketing specialist who brings both creativity and strategy to the table. He's worked with coaches and mission-driven entrepreneurs to help them stop blending in and start standing out online with bold, clear messaging and content that actually converts. Stephen helps brands grow, engage, and convert on platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. With a strong foundation in conversion copywriting and data-backed campaign strategy, he creates content that not only captures attention, but drives measurable results. From crafting scroll-stopping ad copy to optimizing content calendars and sales funnels, Stephen blends creativity with proven marketing frameworks to turn casual followers into loyal customers. Whether working with e-commerce brands, startups, or established businesses, he focuses on ROI, audience growth, and building brand trust in every campaign. Passionate about staying ahead of trends, Stephen ensures every post, story, or ad has a purpose and performs. Please help me welcome Stephen Mesh. Welcome, Stephen, to the Success Code Summit.
Thank you very much, Mary. I'm so happy to be here and share a little bit about social media.
Take it away. I'm so interested about this scroll stopping post that you are giving us information about.
Of course. So, when we're talking about social media, you really have to think of it like you're putting on a performance, like you're doing what I'm doing right now here, speaking, connecting, and relating to people. And what you need to know first is your audience, right?
Yes.
So, who are you trying to reach? What kind of language do they speak? What kind of verbiage do they use? What's their cadence in their speech? All that stuff is going to be very important because it makes you someone who is relatable online. And the kind of golden goose of social media is the engagement metric. And if you're not relatable, you won't have that because people won't be engaging with you. The way to get that started is to hook them in immediately. We've all been there scrolling on our phones in the doom cycle. So, how do you break people out of that? Modern research shows that you only have about 3 seconds, give or take, to hook those people in. As coaches, a very easy way to do that is as simple as a line of text. What I learned from my clients. Something like this shows people that you're not only invested in what you're doing, you're invested in your client's success too, in that they're able to teach you something just by working with them. That raises the curiosity, it gets people thinking, and that little see more that you see on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram posts, they're going to want to hit that and see what kind of value you're providing after that strong lead in. Now, maybe your copy-based hook didn't grab them. That's okay, because you should have strong visual representation about what your post copy is going to be. This can be done through graphics, short videos, long form videos. There's many different ways to do this, but you can use these graphics or videos as a hook as well to bring people in. If they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, what do you think a video is worth? Million, 2 million? Provide that value from them in all post stages of your posting. And most of all, make sure that it is relatable. We are all our own people, right? Business has moved in a lot of ways from just what you do into who you are and why you're doing it. So, what are some things that you could share with people to get them to pay attention to you? Myself personally, I post just about anything that comes into my mind. Nature, music, cars, doesn't matter. Get yourself out there on social media and let people connect with you in a human kind of way. Because people want to do business with people that are having fun with what they do and with their lives, especially as coaches. If you can't show that you are living the life that your clients would want to live, then why would anyone hire you? That is a huge piece of the social media pie. Just being able to be your unique person as well as your business side. And when you're doing this, it's great to just be posting. But what kind of actions are you wanting people to take from that post? You want to have some kind of call to action on almost everything. And it doesn't need to be something as plain and as rigid as DM me for more info, follow my link, buy from me, all that kind of stuff. Because what you're going to do if you're constantly just selling, selling, selling without providing any kind of value or entertainment on social media is people are going to burn out of that very, very fast. Most people, unless you're on LinkedIn, and even to a degree, LinkedIn, people are wanting to learn, be entertained, not necessarily buy things. Though that is becoming more and more of a trend with the social selling and live selling that people are doing. So when you're creating your call to actions, it can be as simple as just starting a conversation. That opens up a dialogue with somebody. It allows people to get to know you more and more of that personality and driven nature, your why behind what you're doing in business. You need to make it easy for people to do this. If you confuse people by not really giving them any kind of lead in, then that engagement metric I talked about earlier, you won't have that at all. And you need to do this consistently. I would recommend posting at least once a day. This keeps you at the front of people's minds. There's so many people, like take for example myself, marketers. You'll see them, they'll be reaching out to you almost every day from the business owners I talk to. So if you're not at the front of mind when somebody is looking for a marketing professional, in my case, it's literally out of sight, out of mind, right? This is even more important when you're trying to reach an audience that consists of millennials, my generation, Gen Z, or younger, even down to Gen Alpha. There was a recent study done that shows Gen Z, 51% of them is more likely to look you up on social media than they are to look you up on your website. It is easy enough for anyone to spend 20 bucks and create a website with AI. You can put it up there, you can fish for people's information and spam them out like no tomorrow. And that's why Google searches and ads have actually been declining in their value over the last 5 to 10 years. A social media presence, a really robust one, is quite a lot harder to fake. In fact, it's nearly impossible. It's where you can show that you are actually doing what you say you do and provides that social proof that lets people know that they're in the right hands when they are engaging with you, whether it's just asking for advice, booking a discovery call or strategy session, or going right to buying a product or a service. This trust is built post by post over time. You can have someone following you for months, even years, before they decide that they're ready to take the next step. But if you have not put the work in to show that you are an actual credible expert in your field, then that's revenue lost, realistically. And when you're losing that revenue, you're losing your drive for your business. And the most important part when you're talking about social media is you yourself engaging with your audience. If you are just posting out into the ether and you never check your page, you use an automatic scheduler, you do you. But if you're not replying to comments, if you're not replying to messages, then you're not really building that audience. You're just broadcasting out into the social media space, and that won't yield anything ever. Realistically, there's a lot of work that goes into having a robust online presence. And you being involved and engaged is, I would say, the most important part behind it. This doesn't even need to be on your own posts. If you have somebody that's a really huge fan of what you do, even if they haven't bought from you yet, make sure you're following them back. And when they're doing cool stuff, drop them a like or a comment, share their stuff. They'll be more likely to do the same for you. Social media is not a billboard. It's a conversation. Just like Phyllis was talking about in her amazing segment, you need to be intentional with the things you're doing. And if you're just putting things out there then that's all you'll ever be doing, and you won't build that trust with people. Something that you really, really need to do to be successful in any kind of business, whether you're networking, whether you're posting on social media, when you're working with clients or even prospective clients, if you don't have that trust, then you don't really have a business at the end of the day. So, what I would encourage you to do as coaches, share your expertise with people. You became coaches because you have a mission to help people, or at least I hope that is why you became coaches. If you're not sharing the things that you can do, you won't have money coming into your business and you won't be able to help these people. So get out there, be bold, be a little outrageous even, and make sure you have fun with it. Because if you're not having fun with yourself and your business, that's another red flag for people looking to hire you too. Nobody wants to do business with a grouch. And nobody wants to do business with someone that's not visible. Take your posts, share them to groups, encourage your people to share them. When you're doing events, have yourself a little QR code and a link tree that people can go and follow you on social media. Because it's hard enough to build an organic audience just by yourself. Why wouldn't you take that to your events that you're doing? Shout it from the rooftops. Hey, follow me on this social media platform. And make sure if you're going to be doing any kind of social media to point people in the direction that you want them to go. It's good to be everywhere, but if you're not checking Instagram, make sure in your Instagram post you're telling people, hey, follow me over on Facebook because I'm actually going to reply to you there. That's very important too if you don't have a team doing your social media work for you because you didn't get into business just to do social media. At least I hope not as coaches. That's more my deal. So I suppose I'll leave you with this. If you want to be successful on social media, you just have to take the first step. You might look a little silly at first. It might not feel right, and you might get 0 likes, and you may be discouraged. But everyone starts somewhere. And if you don't start today, you might never. My free gift that I have for all of you is a social media strategy session, free 30 minutes. We'll go over what you're doing, what you could be doing, and all the different gaps in your current strategy to make sure you really have something that works for people, that builds that audience and gets you the recognition you deserve.
Thank you so much, Stephen. That was fantastic. So, does anybody have any questions for Stephen regarding social media?
Looks like Phyllis has one.
I just want to
Okay,
say,
Phyllis.
yes, I just want to say thank you, Steve. That was awesome. And there were some similarities in what we mentioned, right? And the one that really resonated with me is why you do what you do. And are you living the life that your clients want to have? I mean, I think that's key, especially as coaches. So, do you recommend LinkedIn for as the number one platform for social media for business?
Oh, 100%. I mean, their tagline is literally the professional network. Any kind of B2B space it's going to be LinkedIn, without a doubt. That doesn't mean you're not going to find people on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that kind of good stuff. You still need to be there as well. But if you're looking to serve business owners, you have to be on LinkedIn. There's, it's without question.
Excellent. I do my events on LinkedIn usually also. Post them on LinkedIn as
I
an
think,
option. So
yeah, I think that's great. I mean, it was kind of funny when you were doing your segment. I was like, oh, I'm gonna talk about this thing too and that thing too. Try and tie this in a little together because you could almost think of social media as virtual networking realistically. Because
love
if
it.
you're reaching out to people, then aren't you building the connections the same way that you would be on one of your Zoom calls?
Lots of similarities. Loved it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Yours was amazing as well. Do we have any more?
Stephen, I have a question. So
Sure.
on social media, and I am a person that isn't very consistent, so I may post and then months go by. Is there any acknowledgement should be made to that, or just let it go, do your best, and get as consistent as you can?
You know, if you're overwhelmed by it, then it can be hard to come up with your own topics on what you're going to post about. Um, Something that's simple that you could do, it doesn't remember, it doesn't always have to be all just business posts. On your personal profile, I mean, I'm sure you've got family members, friends that have nothing to do with you and your business. Realistically, the more you can be out there, the more the algorithm is going to pick up that you're active, you yourself are active and engaged. Every social media platform, their main goal is to keep people on their platform for as long as possible because they make their money through ad sales. And if you're posting, commenting, liking, sharing, you may be scrolling right past the ads, but somebody has paid for those. So you're putting money into, say, Meta's pocket just by clicking share. You don't realistically even need to do your own posts. If you see something that's from a motivational page you follow, you can just feel free to hit share. Even better if it's from a business that you support. Maybe they're a friend, maybe they you bought from them, maybe they bought from you. Now you're also supporting another small business. So that just, I mean, the better we can do for everybody, right?
Got it. And that's really truly making it social, right?
Exactly.
As intended.
Yeah, it's not a billboard for just you and your business. It's a place to go and converse with people, start those conversations, find out what people are thinking, and that's a powerful tool as well. If you're active on social media and have a lot of pages that you follow in your specific space, then you're able to see what kind of questions that your potential clients or customers have. You're able to see their pain points, what gets them excited. This can all wrap into not only your own social media presence, but even your sales strategy.
Mm.
People are out there giving you market research every day. You just need to know how to look at it.
Well said. Phyllis was giving you thumbs up there too. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
So, in a follow-up to what Stephanie said, Stephen, when like LinkedIn gives you those metrics, I mean, how much value do you put in that? So they may say you have X number of impressions or things like that. Is that information that you use to create more posts based on that, the impressions that you have received on LinkedIn?
So the most important one is definitely engagement. Metrics like reach and impressions are great because it shows how many people are seeing your posts, but that doesn't mean people are engaging with it, right?
Right.
It means the algorithm on the back end liked something about it and was like, okay, I'm going to show this to people now. But if you don't have a high engagement off of it, then you're not building the community. You're not closing sales from it, and you're not even starting a conversation. So that's the most important one by far. I would say reach and impressions are a good idea of what kind of content you want to create to start because you won't have a high engagement rate to start off with. But then once you get a little bit more consistent with your posting, you come up with a bit of a strategy behind what you're doing, then you can start looking at the engagement numbers, and you'll probably realistically, on average, only see like 1 to 3% engagement. So don't get scared about that. That's normal across the board. But if it's ticking up and you're constantly reaching like 3% on each post you're doing, then that's a clear sign that your audience is going to grow, you're going to have engagement, everything. Everything will grow from that.
Okay. Where do we find those engagement results? Because I see people who have liked or something, liked a post, but I don't see how does that translate, I guess, into engagement?
So engagement is likes, comments, shares, and saves. And when you're talking about video, there's also the video view metrics, like 3-second video view versus minute video view. How long are people watching? So that's an engagement metric too.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Can you, any other questions people have for Stephen? Okay, Stephen, can you please tell everyone, tell our participants, what your free offer is and your VIP gift?
Of course. Yeah. So my free gift for people is a 30-minute strategy session. We'll go over what you're doing on social media and what you could do better and help you kind of create a, way to speak on these online platforms. And my VIP gift is access to my social media success course, as well as 3 free hour-long coaching sessions that come with it. So huge value,
Yes.
lots to learn. Lots to grow your success.
Well, thank you very much, Stephen, for those gifts. I'm sure everyone in the audience appreciates those gifts that you have to offer. And I want to thank you for an incredible presentation about how to get the engagement we need on social media so that we can make a difference in the lives of the clients that we want to transform. And I also want to echo with what Phyllis Marlene said, if we're not living the life that we want our clients to live, then what's really the point? So, yes, thank you so much for offering all those wonderful nuggets. And I just want to thank you again for being part of this Success Code Summit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Stephen. What I'd like to do now is to help us integrate the networking and the social media strategies that Phyllis, Marlene, and Stephen shared with us. And they are in powerful use of set of insights that we've heard, because we can now see networking as a way to create those real connections with the people that we want to serve. And we can use social media so that we can show up as who we are, so we can draw in the right audience who are ready for what we have to offer. So what I would like to do right now is for you to take a moment and ask yourself, how can you truly show up authentically in your coaching space? So I'd like you to take 2 minutes for that. Has everyone had an opportunity to answer that question? Can I have a thumbs up? Perfect. So what I'd like to do now is to help you look at the 3 keys to aligned action. And that really revolves around like what Phyllis, Marlene, and Stephen have said. We need to be clear. Know what your message and energy that you want to bring to your audience, because that's really key. You need to be able to speak their language and use the words that they use to help you know what their pain points are and what they're looking for in terms of transforming their lives. The second is really looking at service. We need to look to come from a place of giving and not what we can really get. And by showing how we can make those transformations in our clients' lives and that we can live that and we can breathe that and we can embody that, the more people will be attracted to us. And the third step is really authenticity. We all need to show up as we are, consistent and real. And what I like Stephanie to do is to put in these three questions for you to think about. What do I want to be known for? How can I help others before I make an offer? And where am I curating instead of connecting? So I'd like you to take 2 minutes to answer those three questions.
Mary Elaine, just to be clear, what do
Sure.
I want to be known for? How can I help others before I make an offer?
Yes.
And what's the third one?
Where am I curating instead of connecting? Thank you. So let's start with those three questions. Um, Taking what Phyllis, Marlene, and Steve shared with us this afternoon, what I would like to do is figure out how we can take that information from both those presentations and speakers and answer these three questions. What's one word that describes your true message? What's one way you can serve your audience this week? And where can you show more of the real you? And when you're writing the answers to these three questions, I want you to think about what you want people to feel when they connect with you. So let's take 2 minutes for that. Has everybody had an opportunity to answer those three questions, or do you need more time? What I'd like you to know is that your questions, that the answers to those questions really revolve around the resistance that you are encountering sometimes when you don't want to show up or you don't want to make that post. And sometimes when you're not really getting the response that you want from your target market, and you feel like you're spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere. So what I like you to do is to take another 2 minutes to decide how you can show up as your best and highest self. And I want you to take some aligned action, which means you're going to choose which type of posting that you're going to do with intention. And I would like you to come up with 3 actions that can shift your presence with your target market using the nuggets that Phyllis, Marlene, and Steven shared with us. So for example, it could be a post, you can post a 15-minute story that shares what you do and why you do it. You can message 3 people today just to check in, not to pitch. Or you can, like Stephen mentioned, comment on a Facebook or LinkedIn group from a place of service. So just take another 2 minutes and just write down what your action is going to be for your coming week. On second thought, let's just put that as a notation for you, and you can work on that during break. There's something good news about all of that resistance. It's not permanent, and it's not who you are, and it's not stronger than your purpose. And that's why I created something to support you, something powerful, practical, and personal. So if you are overcoming any internal resistance and moving forward to grow your business with ease, I would just like to give you some information about the Hope Formula Workshop. It's a 2-hour interactive experiential workshop that's designed to help you stay clear, connected, and consistent in your message so that you are no longer stuck in overthinking or shrinking back. And we'll dive into the internal resistance that keeps you quiet or stuck. And I'll guide you through practical practices using neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis so that you can align your unconscious mind by clearing those roadblocks and claim your voice. Because your voice is not the problem, It's the portal to your impact. And it's time for you to start using it without apology. So if you're ready to deepen your experience and your presence, align your message, and start speaking in a way that truly resonates with your clients, not just online, but in every room you enter, then I personally invite you to the Hope Formula Workshop. It's not about marketing, it's about your mission. And I'd be honored to walk with you as you rise into it. If this resonates and you're ready to go deeper into aligning your presence and impact, we have something very special coming up for you to support you in staying clear, connected, and consistent so that you're overcoming any internal resistance and moving forward to grow your business with ease. The workshop is taking place on June 13th, and it's only $47. And Stephanie will put the link in the chat. So take a look at the page while you're on your break and claim your spot. So let's take 15 minutes for our break. See you back here at 3:45. For you this afternoon. So buckle your seatbelts and we'll get started. I want you to take a moment and think about your ideal clients. Picture them, their challenges, their aspirations, and how your message can truly resonate with them. And notice how your body feels as you connect with this vision. And now imagine yourself showing up in the world exactly as you are, bold, authentic, and ready to serve. Every word you speak, every post you create comes from a place of deep knowing that you have the tools and the wisdom to help your clients that you're meant to serve. And as you move through your day, notice how naturally the words come to you. Watch as your message flows effortlessly, drawing your ideal clients in with ease. When you embrace your unique voice, it doesn't seem forced. It's like the right people are simply magnetized to you. And just for a moment, let yourself feel that certainty, the deep knowing that your authenticity will always be your strongest asset. You don't need to prove yourself. You just need to be who you truly are. Now, what stops you from doing this? Is it a fear of doing too much or not enough? Do you worry about sounding unprofessional if you speak vulnerably? Do you second guess what to say, afraid it won't land or won't be perfect? Maybe you compare yourself to others who seem so polished, and you wonder, why would anyone listen to me? Or you've had moments when your voice didn't feel welcomed. So now you hesitate, edit, or hold back. So let's name it. Because when we name what's stopping us, we can start to shift it. Write it down if you need to and answer these two questions. What's the inner dialogue that creeps in before you post something honest or speak up in a room? And what's that pattern that dims your truth in the moment you're meant to share it? And Stephanie would put those two questions in the chat. So let's take 2 minutes for that.
Mary Elaine.
Yes.
Yes, it's how can I show up in a way that lets my people recognize themselves in my words?
Sure. Go ahead. I think you're down a little further, but that's okay. That's fine.
Can you tell
Perfect.
me the questions?
What's the inner dialogue that creeps in before you post something honest or speak up in a room? And what's the pattern that dims your truth in the moment you're meant to share it?
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Everybody have answers to those two questions? Okay, perfect. Now we're going to do a powerful technique that I think will definitely help you change your mindset so that you can bring in that person that you truly want to be. So we're going to shift your mental representation of what you're feeling. And what I mean by internal representation is the way we mentally construct a map of the outside world based on our sensory input, our filtering, and personal interpretation. So it's really the internal model of the world, including our thoughts, feelings, and sensations that influence our behavior and communication. So what I'd like you to do is to pull in all of that resistance that you see around you, like you aren't good enough, that what you message that you have to share isn't valuable enough, or that you compare yourself to others. I want you to take all of those pieces of resistance that you're facing currently, and I want you to put all of them into a ball in between your hands, and I want you to really squeeze it tightly. And now I want you to throw that ball through the computer screen out into the universe and into the sun. And I really want you to do it with all the force that you can. So let's do that now. I'm just going to throw it through the computer screen out into the universe and into the sun. And we're just going to make sure it gets there and throw it as hard as you can. And now watch it as the sun just burns it away until there is nothing left except ashes. It's gone now. All of that resistance is gone. Now, the universe tells you if you get rid of one thing, you have to fill it up with something else. So let's fill it up with your best version of you. So I want you to put your hands outstretched, and I want you to put your right hand on the back of your left hand, and I want you to really draw that person, the best version of yourself, in toward yourself. And I want you to think of all the characteristics of that person that you are visualizing and draw it closer and closer to you. And then I want you to place your left hand on your heart. And I want you to take in that version of your highest and best self. And I want it to enter every cell, molecule, and electron of your body. Starting with your head, your neck, your shoulders, your back, your arms, your hands, your fingers, your chest, your abdomen, your thighs, your lower legs, your feet and your toes. And I just want all of that. I want you to resonate in every cell, electron, and molecule of your body, knowing that you have the best version of yourself inside of you. It's always been there, and it's now your time to become more aware of it. Take a deep breath and gently open your eyes. So I would like to know, what did you learn? What questions do you have? What do I need to know? Would anyone like to share their experience with that powerful technique? Okay. Has anything shifted for anyone? Has it changed your focus? So here's really the truth. Whether it's a direct message, a comment thread, a voice note, or a coffee chat, people don't really remember your polish. They remember your presence. They remember how they feel around you. So I would like to take what Phyllis Marlene and Stephen said about networking, and I'd like you to look at 3 different ways to help you become more authentic in your language and how you create those connections, whether in your posts or in a networking event. So the 3 steps are: speak with shared emotion. Say what people are feeling but haven't voiced. So for example, you may say to someone, you're showing up strong on the outside, but on the inside, it's a lot. I see you. That's a kind of sentence that creates someone or makes someone pause, and it invites connection. Secondly, lead with certainty. Share what you know from your own experience. For example, I've been through that kind of chaos in my life. I know what it's like to rebuild. When you own your truth, others feel safer to share theirs. And thirdly, ask powerful, reflective questions. What if your story isn't something to hide, but the very thing someone else is waiting to hear? This kind of language opens hearts, and that's where connection begins. So you really don't need scripts. You need to use your voice, unfiltered, compassionate, and clear. So my invitation is, what will you be doing in the next 24 hours to show up somewhere, either online or in person, from your truth? Not from just strategy, but from your soul. It could be a post, a voice memo, a share in a group, a moment in conversation. I want you to say the thing that you really want to say, and let your voice, raw and real and radiant, be heard. And notice what happens. Notice how you feel, and notice who leans in. Because your voice, when it's aligned, is your greatest connector. So where can you start on social media making some true connections when networking or in social media to start making the impact that you desire? So let's take 2 minutes for that. The question is in the chat for you. Everybody have answers to those questions? So I'd just like to ask you where you feel like you need support or where you can use the strategies and the tools that Phyllis, Marlene, and Stephen presented to us earlier in the afternoon. Can you share that let's just take a minute here to share where you can make those changes in social media or networking. So who would like to share out with that? So Linda, I know you have a busy schedule the next few days. How do you feel like you would be using social media or networking in the next few days? Carol, how would you share?
Well, I'm waiting to get a release date of my book, A Parent's Guide to Support Your ADD, ADHD Daughter.
Okay.
So as soon as I have the official release date, then I will be reaching out to a number of organizations to get scheduled as a speaker
Mm-hmm.
in their regular weekly and monthly events.
Perfect. How are you promoting your book release before it's
Well, that's one of the things that I was going to speak to the prior presenter about because I haven't started and I was told I should be 100 days before the release date. And I don't think I have that much runway, but I'm not quite sure how to announce something that is yet amorphous. I mean, I have the cover of the book and, it's now in the hands of the editors for the final time, but I'm a little yet uncomfortable with how I start that process in social media.
okay? Perfect. Stephen's here.
Yep.
That might be a good question for Stephen if you want to come on unmute and share a best practice with Carol.
Okay. Just a little bit more information about what you're dealing with.
Well,
So,
let me rephrase the issues since you may have not caught it. I'm waiting for the release date of a book that's called A Parent's Guide to Support Your ADD, ADHD Daughter.
mhm.
And I was told that I should be promoting it 100 days before the release date. And yet I'm not quite sure how I do something that's not specific. Like if I knew it was July 15th, then I could start posting. But I'm sort of a little uncomfortable with something that's so non-specific.
Sure. Well, why don't you just tease the idea that something cool is going to be coming? And then you have people that are thinking about an announcement coming from you, but you don't have to say when, you don't have to say what. You can make it very vague and kind of exist in that space of mystery that kind of will draw people in. That's a good hook in and of itself.
And what would be the best platform to start that type of tease, if that's the right word?
Whichever one you're most comfortable on, because realistically, you're going to want to be engaging with people that are, you know, kind of chomping at the bit, asking, well, what is it? And then you can even lead them along the path a little bit more, like, I'm not telling. So whatever platform you're most comfortable with is always going to be the most important one, realistically.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Stephen. I know there's so much involved with book releases and timelines, and it's really gets, you need to fill in, I guess, those dates and those more specifically so that you can better know how to promote your release. So thank you for that. So if you're feeling the pull to go deeper, and if you're tired of shrinking your voice to fit the room or editing your truth to be more acceptable, I've created something for you to leverage your authentic voice and overcome any internal resistance while moving forward in your business with clarity, confidence, and conviction. It's called the Hope Formula Workshop. This isn't about surface level social tips. This is about the inner work that unlocks your outer presence. We'll be using mindset, neurolinguistic programming, and hypnosis techniques to really start unlocking your unconscious mind so that you can truly clear the blocks that keep you from being fully seen and fully expressed. Because when your voice is free, your impact, your life, and your connections expand. The Hope Formula Workshop will guide you back to that place of truth and trust, where you can speak with clarity, connect with authenticity, and build relationships that are real, resonant, and aligned. You already have the message. Let's be clear about what's stifling it. Join me and let's make your voice your power. And here's the link to register for the class. And Stephanie will put that in the chat for you. Now, to help you take these insights about your clients into clear, actionable marketing strategies, I'm thrilled to introduce someone who leads with wisdom, clarity, and practical expertise. Please join me in welcoming the incredible Christine Campbell Rapin, who will be talking about how to predict your revenue in the next 90 days. She will show you how to move from inner clarity to market mastery so you can attract, engage, and serve your aligned clients with purpose and power. Christine is an energetic, tell it like it is business advisor, mentor, consultant, speaker, and three-time international best-selling author. She's supported over 400 companies to create a combined revenue of more than $1 billion and believes business growth can be elegantly simple when you focus on the three non-negotiable business foundations that build a client growth engine. So please help me welcome Christine Campbell Rapin to the Success Code Summit.
Hello, my friends.
Hi, Christine. So good to see you here.
It's good to see you as well. I thought you would giggle when you say that I was a truth teller and a tell it like it is mentor.
Well, yes, I was trying to hold back.
It's accurate. Mary Elaine's been on the other end of that conversation, and I am here to light you up and to show you how to make money. I mean, can I just ask if anybody is good with that? Because it's great to put something in the business world, but if it's just about noise, there's enough noise out there already. I want to show you how to create client growth. And I'm going to build on that conversation, Carol, that you had asked around, because one of the biggest challenges I see is that everyone says, where do I start?
Mhm.
Like, everyone is observing something already as a work in progress. We have joined courses. We've seen someone who's a guru. We maybe bought into some of that experience. And the truth is, they're not at zero. They're somewhere already in momentum. And one of the questions that I want to answer for you is, how do you start? How do you get off zero?
Mhm.
And I think if you could write down a post-it note and keep it by your workspace, the most valuable thing I could give you in the next 20 minutes is this piece of business advice. Commit to getting off zero. What I know about the world of business, I learned over 30 years, almost 30. I shouldn't quite age myself. I'm really close. I'm really close to 30. And I never set out to be a business mentor. What I set out to do was to be a great entrepreneur, and I had a huge advantage. 20 plus years of business experience. I've had experience in marketing, experience in sales, experience in operations, logistics, money, you name it. I have had my hands in it. And so I was at a massive advantage than most business owners who start with a dream. And the challenge is nobody teaches you how to start. And those that are selling to you are selling complexity. And chances are, if you feel overwhelmed, a little scared, you bought into it. I am here to tell you business growth is elegantly simple. The most important lesson you can take is to get off zero. And the difference when I first started my business journey and why I became a business mentor is because I would end up in conversations, a conversation I had exactly with Mary Elaine, but maybe around 4 years ago now. We were talking about getting off zero. I didn't use those words, but that was the conversation. It's like, what do you want? What do you want to create? What's the vision you have? And in order to get off zero, this is what will predict your future. And I'm going to share that with you today. But I would have conversations over coffees, conversations over glasses of wine, just being honest, depending on how you know me, what kind of time of day we wanted to meet. Walks on the river, kicking around a patio. And people would say to me, what are you doing 1 hour a day that creates money? Because I'm spending 40, 50, 60 or more hours a week, and I'm still broke. What the hell's the difference? And I said, the difference is I know how to start at zero, and I'm committed to getting off it. And I think what's really important is also to decide that I am done doing the hokey pokey, which means 1 foot in, 1 foot out, scared to get off zero, waiting for all of the ducks in a row to be quacking in a row, because business doesn't happen that way. And Carol, I'm going to highlight you just specifically because I just dropped into the room when you were asking the question. You have already written a book. It's gone to the publishers. The world can know today that you have done that. It's not about the day that they can buy. Yes, certain people will buy on the day you release. But what matters is you stirring the interest today, tomorrow, the day of the launch, 3 months from the launch, 10 years from the launch. This will be a lifelong quest for you to get visible around the book you've created. And that's why you've probably heard that advice that you need 100 days to get going. I shortened it by 10 days. I said, we're going to talk about how to do this in the next 90. The key is you are always having to do 2 things, because 2 things predict your revenue. Just 2. So when the world tells you you need to do 10,000 things, you need to dance like a llama, carry a unicorn, and bring a balloon to the table in order to build a business, they're selling you complexity and they're taking your money. Don't buy into it. I've created $1 billion with people, and every dollar is equal. Every dollar, your first sale of your book, your first sale to your client, we all start January 1 every year with 0. But what matters is that you understand how to play the game. So instead of doing all the things that are complicated, hopping backwards, 3 skips to the left, turn around, shake, 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 go forward 2, here's how I tell you how to run a business. 2 things and only 2 things matter. The first is that your business will be built on strangers. Always. Always. And I think one of the biggest fears we have, and Mary Elaine can be great at helping you with NLP and hypnosis around the fears around talking to strangers. But the truth is your business will be built on strangers. At some point, you will sell to somebody you've never met. Because chances are, most of us in our world, I heard a stat at my own event that I held back in April, that most of us know 600 human beings. If you want to be in business for 5 years, you're going to need to know more than 600 people. So the scary bit and the liberating bit is we have to make friends with strangers. And truthfully, that's where we can be a great partnership to figure out the fear. But it's not all strangers that are equal. Here's the cool math. There's 8 billion plus people on the planet. You are not here to support 8 billion people on the planet. Most business owners that I support are looking for 3 to 50 to maybe 100 people a year that they want to support. It's a much smaller pool of people, but we've got to recognize we must make friends with new people. And so that's why I know I heard Mary Lane, you were asking, like, what are you going to do to network? What are you going to do to get in front of new people? Because she knows, because I was chirping at her for years, go make friends with strangers. But not all strangers are equal when it comes to making money. And this is the important thing, because not all visibility is mattering equal when it comes to money in your pocket. What matters is that you recognize first task, I just have to get visible. Start there, that's 0. But once you're off 0, the second piece is I want to find somebody who will buy something. That's the biggest tell if you will create money, is if somebody will pay for it. And so I call it finding a buyer. That's the language I personally use because buyers have money. You can use the word customer, you can use the word client, you can use the word patient, you can use the word anything. My favorite pink dramas, whatever you want to call them, don't care. But you've got to find people that will have money. And what that means is your ability to find a buyer is the single biggest predictor of whether you'll create any money. That's it. It's very simple. Second piece of this equation about what predicts your revenue is that you have to recognize that you must invite people to spend money. I have a simple, easy way to say this. Get your ask on. Every single day, your number one priority as a business owner, as somebody who wants to create money out of their business, is to make offers. And just so we're clear, because I think there's a lot of confusion around this, an offer rarely converts, which means somebody says, here's my credit card. If it's just a post on social media, come to my event, buy my book, become a fan, it just doesn't work. If all it took to build a business was to post on social media, we would all be millionaires. Less than 2% of business owners get to $1 million. So trust me, there's a lot of posting going on, praying going on, and it's not giving you clients. Maybe you've done that. I know I have. And I still post, but I have different expectations around why I do, because it's not about money. An offer is a direct invitation to somebody who puts their hand up and says, I need that. It's a response to a buyer who says, I have a problem. So what's really important is not only that you get comfortable with, I have to meet a stranger. I'm looking specifically in business for somebody who has money to spend, and I'm looking to solve a problem. And if they put their hand up and say, I have that problem. So for Carol, it's whatever book, solution or problem your book addresses, you're looking for those people. And you're saying, I have a solution. It comes in the vehicle of a book, but the book is just the delivery. It's not the solution. It's just a roadmap. So I want to just take a pause and go back to how simple this is. I have to find buyers and I have to invite them to spend money. And what really is important is if you don't do the first piece and you don't do the second piece, I have a heartbreaking story for you. You won't create any money. And so instead of doing all the bazillion things people tell you to do, just do that. And the fastest way to make cash is to talk to another human being. It's really that simple. It's go talk to another human being. And you need to recognize that when I say talk to a human being, it can be chit-chatty. And if you observe somebody who has a problem, you can ask the question, is solving that problem desirable? How long have you had that problem? What would it look like if you didn't? Would you be open-minded to hearing a possible way to get that result? And if they say yes, you know you have the opportunity to invite somebody to explore what you bring to the table. And if they say, no, I love my problem, and trust me, the world doesn't want to be saved, the world loves its problem, you don't start trying to convince them. Like, move on to the next stranger, because you're not looking for 8 billion people to say and to waste time with. Get away from the tire kickers and say, who really wants my problem fixed? Oh, you? Okay, let me make you a recommendation. Do you like that recommendation? What do you like about it? What do you believe it will do for you? And if that's desirable, would you be committed to a decision if I gave you a choice? And they say, yeah, I'm committed to a decision of making a choice. Great. Let me tell you the investment. My book is 99 cents. My book is $20. My program is 500, and whatever your story is. And then you ask, what decision are you making today? To purchase or to keep your problem? Because that's the only offers that that person needs to know about. Don't buy into the complexity. Your ability to spot a pattern, your ability to interrupt a pattern, your ability to invite a pattern is what business requires. And then you just repeat the pattern. And you decide this. Because right now, if you don't have enough cash in your business or you don't have enough of what you want, I want to ask you just a very simple question before I give the floor back to Mary Elaine. And it's to ask yourself this question. Is the spark of you, this idea, this whatever it is you created, is the spark still aflame? Because if it is, you have to answer and serve the spark. My job as a business mentor is a lot of tough love and a lot of great business advice. But what matters most, as I said, is I'm a fuel source to you. I'm not the spark to your dream. You're the spark to your dream. And if you say, Christine, I have this spark, I want to create cash, then I will say, here's some tools to do that. And I'll say, go implement them. And I'll work with you to do that. But it's very simple. If you want to know how much money you'll create in August, it will depend on what you do this week. Because the work you do today starts to germinate. Everything on the planet germinates. Trees are starting to bloom at spring. Babies germinate and take 9 months to come to the earth. Your business takes ideas. Carol, that's why you were told it takes 100 days. What you do today will show up in 100. 90, in my case, I think 90 is pretty accurate. So I say to you today, if you want a great summer, what will you do today? Get active. Get off zero. And you've got to stay in the game. You can choose to adjust your speed. Not all seasons are Mach 10 hair on fire. But if you quit and do the hokey pokey, it's infinitely harder. So I'm Christine Campbell Rapin. I'm a good friend of Mary Elaine's. She asked me to come speak to you, and I hope that was valuable because I hope it's simple. And I hope it's something you can go do something with. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Christine. Of course, it's always very impactful. So thank you for sharing how simple it is with those 2 steps. I greatly appreciate that. We'll just briefly ask, does anyone have any questions for Christine?
This is your chance to take the mic.
Yes,
Get visible. Maybe there's a buyer in the room.
there could be. You never know. All right. So, Christine, thank you again
You're welcome.
for your wisdom. Can you share your free gift and your VIP gift with the audience?
I absolutely can. So I told you it was really simple. You needed to go meet strangers, and half the time you're going to go, I don't know where to do that. I don't know how to start. So I have a free gift for you, and it is a document that has 25 ways to get in front of new people. Okay. I don't want you to go do 25 things tomorrow because you'll exhaust yourself and end up doing the hokey pokey because you'll sprint, exhaust, stop. I want you to look at this list and go, what's the one thing I can get behind? What's the one thing that feels like oxygen for me? The one thing I'm willing to commit to, and then say, I'm going to go do that and go do that for a year. And then come back in a year and add a second and then do that for a year. I don't need you doing a million things. I need you doing one thing really well. And the only way you master something is to start off zero. So that's a free resource. And there's a lot of ways to build a business. Don't let anybody tell you that there's a way to build a business. There's not, there's your way, but there are foundations and you can't skip them. That's the free gift. And the VIPs, I will tell you this, you should buy the VIP. This is sort of direct, but the VIP is worth this alone. I'm going to spend 30 minutes with you helping you in your business. I'm going to give you 30 minutes of my time to do a more buyers equals more money breakthrough session so we can figure out who your buyer is. Because if you don't know who you're looking for, it will be impossible to find them. The clearer you get, the faster you will move. And clarity doesn't come on Tuesday at a notebook because it was Starbucks and you had your favorite latte. It comes when you get off zero, do the work, and I'm willing to give you 30 minutes of my time to show you how to start. Because if you don't ever start, can't ever serve, and you won't ever get paid. So go spend the 37 bucks. It's really worth it.
Thank you, Christine. Just working with Steve and Phyllis Marlene and Christine, please take advantage of all of their VIP gifts. Christine is an amazing mentor and coach, and highly recommend that you take her up on that one-on-one coaching. So thank you, Christine, for being here.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate you.
Always.
Thank you. So let's close today the way we began, with breath and intention. So take a deep breath in on a count of 4, hold it for 6, and exhale on a count of 8. Let your shoulders drop. Let the information of the day settle into your system. You've absorbed a lot today from Phyllis Marlene's wisdom on authentic networking, Stephen's powerful framework on stop scrolling posts, and Christine's magnetic 90-day marketing map. This wasn't just information overload, it was activation. And what you choose to do with this will determine your success. Marketing, social media, and networking don't have to be complicated. And it doesn't have to feel like a sales pitch. It's about telling your story, sharing your message, and attracting the people who need to hear it. So here's the key shift. Rather than focusing on what you want to sell, focus on how you serve, how your work changes lives, how your message heals, and how your expertise can guide others. So I'd like you just to write this question down and answer it after we depart this afternoon. How do you market your offering by focusing on the transformation you bring to others? Like all of our speakers have said, we just want to keep it simple. So the show up success code is really 3 points. Be clear on the outcome you provide. What's the transformation someone will experience by working with you? And 2, speak directly to their needs and desires. When you speak to the heart of their pain points and dreams, they'll feel understood. And thirdly, build trust by sharing your journey and the results of your work. Remember, marketing isn't just convincing someone, it's about making them see that you are the one they've been waiting for. And you've already know this, and the real question is, what stops you from taking the actions you know will make a difference? And since we're all coaches, your clients likely go through the same type of resistance and challenges, like fear or doubt, perfectionism, overthinking, avoidance, comparison. We've all been there. However, what if you could easily and powerfully move through resistance so that you learn to love marketing, networking, and social media and see them for what they truly are? The opportunity to provide transformation to the people you serve. And likewise, what if you could help your clients move through their own resistance even faster? Well, let me tell you, this is possible. And this is what I specialize in, working with coaches such as yourself to clear away whatever may get in the way of you achieving the success you want and helping your clients achieve that success they deserve. That's why I created the Hope Formula Workshop. On June 13th, I'm hosting this workshop, which is about experiencing transformation consistently so that you're living your imagined life because it's within reach. The Hope Formula Workshop is for you so that you can expand to new levels of success, have quick and effective techniques for yourself, to have the positive mindset you need to help people move forward with confidence, clarity, and conviction. So Stephanie will put the link for this 2-hour interactive experiential Hope Formula Workshop on June 13th for only $47. It's my commitment to support you in having the success you desire and getting beyond what's ever in your way so we as coaches know the importance of investing in ourselves. And we ask other people to invest in themselves by working with us. So set that example and set the energy and the vibration in motion by being someone who's committed to clearing whatever's in your way, to getting the breakthroughs you need so you can serve people more effectively. Register for this interactive experiential Hope Formula Workshop for only $47 because I'm committed to getting you the results that you desire. It's a turning point if you let it be, because I know you've attended other seminars and sat in other classes, but this time, let's make it different. Let's make the moment you implement what you already know and clear what's blocking you from doing it. And let's make this the moment you finally step into your power as the guide, the healer, the mentor, or expert you are. So if you've done feeling stuck, spinning your wheels, and hiding in plain sight, this workshop is your next step. This is about claiming your voice, your mission, and your results. It's about aligning your visibility tools like social media, networking, and marketing with the truth of who you are so people feel it when you speak. And yes, you'll get the replay if you can't attend live. But if you attend live, that's where the breakthroughs will happen. On June 13th, we're going to do some deep work together, not just surface level tactics. This is transformational strategy, the kind that frees you to finally show up and serve powerfully. So let's put a bow on today. Phyllis taught you how to interact with heart. Stephen gave you content that cuts through the noise. And Christine mapped out the next 90 days to revenue. So you're leaving here with a full plate of gifts, especially if you're a VIP. But these gifts don't create results. Action does. So if you want more clients, more visibility, more income and impact, you must make peace with networking, social media, and marketing. They are not separate from your mission. They amplify it. So what I'd like you to write down is another question that you can ponder this evening. How can you market your offer by focusing on the transformation you bring to others? Because the transformation I offer you is this: to clear the resistance, unlock your inner momentum, and to make your business aligned, inspired, and effective again. Now ask yourself, are you clear on the transformation you bring to your clients? If not, why not? So let's close this day not with more information, but with integration, with intention, with alignment. You've taken in a lot today. Now it's time to shift from your head to your heart. So go ahead and get comfortable. Place your feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your thighs or by your side and gently close your eyes. Let's take the next few minutes to step away from doing and move into being. This is your moment to integrate, to embody, and to rise. So begin by getting comfortable. Allow your spine to lengthen slightly, your shoulders to soften, and your hands to rest in your lap or by your sides. Close your eyes gently and take a slow, deep breath in on a count of 4, hold for a count of 6, and exhale on a count of 8. Let the weight of the day melt off your shoulders. Breathe in again and feel your lungs expand. And breathe out. Feel yourself arrive. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more grounded, more present. Let's take a journey inward, a journey to meet the most powerful, aligned, visionary version of you. Imagine yourself standing at the base of a path. The summit you just experienced is behind you, full of wisdom, inspiration, and insight. But ahead, something more profound. You begin walking the path. It's smooth, steady, and inviting. Each step feels like progress. Each breath fills you with purpose. Now up ahead, you see a version of yourself, standing strong, confident, and radiant. This is the you who has said yes. Yes to your mission. Yes to being seen. Yes to sharing your gifts without resistance. This version of you is clear, confident, grounded, at peace. You get closer, and now you step into that future version of yourself. Feel what it's like to wear their energy. Feel your shoulders rise with confidence. Feel your chest open with certainty. Feel your face relax, your jaw unclench, your breath deepen. You are that version now. In this embodied future, you show up fully. What do you feel? You feel confident, aligned with your vision, connected to those that you serve. What do you hear? You speak clearly. You market yourself not with force, but with service. Your message is magnetic because it's rooted in truth. What do you see? You attract clients, not by chasing, but by standing still in your power. You connect through authentic conversations. You post content that resonates because it comes from your heart. You trust yourself to be seen in all your brilliance, all your humanity. Pause here and listen. What does the future you believe about yourself? What's the story your future self tells? I'm here to serve. I am worthy of visibility. I trust my mission. I lead with impact and integrity. And what do you see? Now imagine someone reaching out to you, someone who's been silently watching, feeling your energy from afar. And that person says, I don't know what it is about you, but I feel like you understand me. I feel safe with you. How do we work together? This is the kind of marketing that doesn't feel like marketing at all. This is magnetism born from alignment. This version of you knows how to stay grounded. They don't hustle, they move with intention. They don't doubt, they discern. They don't shrink, they shine. Now imagine what it would be like to stay in this version of yourself daily, not just during a summit, not just when everything feels easy, but especially when resistance shows up. That's what the Hope Formula workshop provides you. It's the key to moving through fear, releasing blocks, taking consistent action from your highest self. It's about you becoming unshakable. You'll not only shift yourself, you'll learn how to help your clients do the same. So before you open your eyes, I want you to take one last deep breath. Take 4 breaths in, hold it for 4, hold it for 6, and then exhale for a count of 8. And now I want you to anchor this version of yourself. So whether you anchor it with your finger, your index finger and your thumb on your ear or some other part of your body where only you know, where you can access this inspiration. Feel it in your chest. Hold it in your mind. Embody it in your presence. And silently repeat, I am ready. I lead with purpose. I attract through truth. I transform through action. I am becoming that beacon. Now gently return to your body. Wiggle your fingers, roll your shoulders, and bring a soft smile to your face. And when you're ready, open your eyes. That version of you is real. And if today awakens something in you, don't let it fade. You're here because you care. You serve from your soul, and you're ready to rise. So if you're ready to stop spinning and start soaring, if you're ready to serve with ease, clarity, and confidence, if you're ready to help your clients do the same, join me for the Hope Formula Workshop on June 13th. It's just $47. There will be live access and replay included. So say yes to clearing resistance, in aligning your actions, and to fully step into your mission. This is your invitation to stop thinking about it and start living it. The breakthroughs you want, they're right on the other side of one aligned choice. The link to register is in the chat. So take that next step, this time for you. So I would like to ask if anyone had any takeaways from today. That's good to know that everyone had. Carol, have you have any takeaways for today?
Yes, well, clearly the social media recommendation and the starting from zero and just finding a lot of strangers who can relate, who have the problem I'm prepared to discuss.
Thank you for sharing. That's so true. We have to really.
That was definitely hit the nail on the head on both of those.
I'm so glad that you were here to hear both of those messages
Thank
and
you.
could get the words of wisdom from both Stephen and Christine today.
And if I can add how everyone's message connected, because we started with networking and just getting ourselves out there, right? Because it's all about visibility. And then how we took through to social media, and then Christine going like, bam, you're going to talk to strangers and get clear on our message. And also, as far with Christine, it was talking to strangers And making connections is the ultimate key, right? But also having something to offer.
Exactly. You have to be very clear on what your offer is and what you do and why you do it. Thank you, Stephanie. Great points. Yeah, I agree, Christine. Bam. Yeah, you have to know who you are, what you stand for before you can start networking, before you can post on social media, or like Christine said, just show up and treat everybody as that stranger, because you never know, they may be the one that you need to serve. So you have to be prepared in any situation, so that you can speak authentically and powerfully to that person. And you have to really totally embody it so that it really comes across aligned with your message. So your message has to be clear, and that's what neurolinguistic programming is all about, is clear communication. So thank you all for sharing and being here today, and give yourself kudos for being here and listening to all these incredible speakers today. So I want to thank you for investing in us, coming to this safe place during the Success Codes for Coaches Summit. I can't wait to witness your transformation as the coach who finds her voice, attracts clients, and runs a successful business that elevates the clients that you serve. The universe brought us all here together for a reason, so I'd love to hear about your transformation from this summit. So direct message me on LinkedIn or send me your success stories, your wins, and your questions, because I'm here to help serve you as well. So thank you for being here. Day 1 is done. We'll see you back here tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern sharp. Thank you so much.